Hey, what's going on YouTube? So, another day, another project for you guys. The ceiling is done. Check it out. If you guys remember, it had a very old, dark, discolored look to it. Now it's nice, fresh, bright white. There are some areas that I should have killed the ceiling, then did another coat of the painting. But guys, this is a massive ceiling, and it was a lot of work. It took me hours to do it. And I bought a high quality Behr paint. Right here, I can't even see the label, but very expensive, $40 paint and primer, ultra bright white ceiling paint. But this ceiling is so old that in some spots, let me show you guys. And some, I did go around and hit a lot of them, so actually there's not as many as there used to be. It's only certain tiles, which is weird. A lot of the tiles actually did fine. They dried completely clear and clean, but there was some, man, I'm having a hard time finding them, so that's really good. Here we go. Here's a spot. See that right there? A little bit of the old discoloring bled through. A lot of times around these little indentations that are made like that in the tile. So actually, I'm happy to say that there's not as many. I did a good job finding the ones that were a problem and hit a lot of them. I did notice a lot of them were around where the venting comes out, so I don't know if that's got something to do with it. Also around where the window is, so maybe moisture, a lot of moisture when the windows are open. Maybe heat, dirt from the venting. So that could be playing a part, because I noticed away from these areas, I didn't find nearly as many problems. A lot of this area that I'm showing you, I already hit them. There's a spot right there. See that? But I already did a pretty good job of, actually a lot better job than what I thought, of hitting the ones. Oh, here's a couple I missed. Complete tiles. Actually more in the center. So look at that one real up and close. See the discoloring coming through? So I need to hit this one. I need to hit this tile. But it's not the whole ceiling, which I appreciate. And I hope that a lot of them don't start popping through. They pretty much are good and dry. I just did this last 6 of them this morning, so those might pop through. So I got a little bit of touch-up work to do, but not bad. But overall, when you guys look, it looks great. It looks super clean. Took me hours. So I'm about to tackle the final. There's never a final job, guys, but that's being worked on today. While they're doing that, I am going to do the brick. So we are going to go ahead and start the whitewash of the brick. Got my brush. I've done my vacuuming. I brushed all the grout lines, because as you brush the grout lines, you can hear tick, 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 tick. You know, there's a little bit of loose stuff that comes off. I'm sure you could brush it 100 times and still get some. So I'm not too worried about it, but I did get a lot of it off, and then I vacuumed it up. When I get ready to do down here, I'm going to do the same thing. Vacuum it up. But I'm gonna do my test run on this top part. They say to do every 6 bricks. Do 6 bricks at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you want it more white, take less off with the rag. If you want less of a whitewash look, take more off. Now, I personally want it pretty white, so I'm not gonna really take much off. I'll probably take maybe some off, probably play with it a little bit just to see what we got going on. But overall, I think I'm gonna leave it pretty heavy, because I really don't want any red popping through, because we don't really have any red themed stuff at all down here. So I want it as nice and bright white as possible. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get started on this. So I'll do little periodic updates, maybe as I get a quarter way in, see how it's going, and then progressing throughout there, and then I'll do a final video of how it looks. I did pull this back off the wall a very tiny bit, more on the sides, just to kind of get a little bit behind it. But we're going to buy an exact sized cover again, so I'm not going to worry too much about the edges behind there. I'm sure they're a little bit more black from the people doing fires and stuff, so I'm not going to too much worry about it. I'm going to just go ahead and you know, like I said, buy another one of these the same size and insert, because the insert looked really nice. I like how we can keep it closed right off. I do got to get in there and vacuum and clean. So anyways, guys, we'll see how she goes.